welcome to another week of the Courier and Daily Comments Prep Preview. We're entering week 7 of the high school football season here, with district play in full swing for all of our area teams. Gonna have some big games this week and probably for the rest of the season. Lots of big games, right, Teddy?
Yeah, I mean the season's flying by at this point. You know, week 7 already, and you only got a 10-week regular season. So the power ratings came out this week on the LHSAA website. So now a lot of teams understand where they're at when it's going to making the playoffs in these last few weeks. Some teams are in good shape. Some teams got a little work to do. So it's always interesting. It's pretty much what a lot of coaches call that final push for the season, and right, big games on tap this week.
You know, talking about the district races and the power ratings, the game I'll be previewing this week, Edie White and Patterson. It's a District 6-3A matchup, a district that has been decided by this game over the past 4 or 5 years, and with the power ratings coming out this week, you've got Edie White at 3rd in the Class 3A power ratings. You've got Patterson at 4th in the Class 3A power ratings. So this game is going to be a big deal when it comes to the district standings as well as the power ratings. You take a look at this matchup over the past 4 years or so, it's been close. Patterson has won in a blowout. Last year, Patterson won 42-7. And first thing Edie White's going to have to do to reverse that trend this year is slow down Kenny Hilliard, nephew of former LSU and New Orleans Saint running back Dalton Hilliard. Kenny Hilliard, arguably one of the best running backs in the state, possibly even the nation. Not many teams have been able to slow him down, and Edie White's going to try to do that this week, defensively and offensively, through controlling the clock, running the ball. They've been able to do that the past few weeks with Dylan Day, who has 480 rushing yards on the season and 4 touchdowns. What's your take on this game, Teddy?
Patterson has had the better of Edie White over the years. It's going to be some contrasting styles. I think a little bit Patterson's a little more wide open, like you mentioned, with Hilliard, with the ability to maybe spread the field a little bit. Edie White, ball control with Lede. Hopefully their defense keeps everything in front and tackle well. You have to tackle well, especially this time of the season, because you're going to be playing a lot of teams that have playoff aspirations. Some of their backs against the wall, some of them are talented, and tackling is always going to be a key. You don't want to miss too many tackles on Kenny Hilliard, because if you do, he's going to make you pay, and he's been making a lot of teams pay this year. So, you know, I think it's going to be a little closer this year than what it was last year. The Cardinals have really been playing well this year, surprisingly well this year, and I think they're going to give Patterson a pretty good contest.
You'll be covering a big District 8-5A game, Terrebonne and Central Lafourche.
Yeah, they're all big at this time, but right now, you know, this is the game we're featuring this week, Terrebonne and Central Lafourche. 2 teams, both in playoff position. You mentioned about the power rating. Central coming out number 18 right now. Terrebonne coming out number 35, but you know, 32 teams going, so they're right there, and they got a lot of games left to play. So this is a big game. Central, they're 5-1, 2-1 in district. They want to keep pace with South Lafourche and South Terrebonne, the other one-loss teams. Don't want to lose no ground. If you can gain some ground, great, but you definitely don't lose no ground. Terrebonne actually at 1-2. You know, I was talking to Coach Gary Hill last night. Scenarios can play out where we could have 5 teams 4-2 at the end of the year in this district. You know, so to be that, though, they have to beat Central Lafourche this week before that scenarios can start coming into play. But you're looking at a team that's 4-2 overall that wants to, you know, make that playoff push. And you want to talk about contrasting styles, Matt. And you got Central Lafourche offensively with the triple option, grind it out, you know, 3 yards in a cloud of dust team. And you got Terrebonne, who likes to spread the field, have tremendous athletes in Dominic Matthews, Gerard Brown, Mike Williams. They want to throw the ball a little bit. They want to get you in one-on-one situations, make their athletes make you miss, and then take it to the house. You've seen Central more than I have this year. I've seen Terrebonne once. I mean, obviously, that's probably how it's going to play out.
Right. The times that I've seen Central, obviously, it's that running game. It's led by Kobe Savoy at quarterback, but he's not the only guy they have. You've got Byron Thomas. He has the ability to go around the end. You have Jordan LeBuff. He's got the ability to go around the end. And then Rendell Clark and Brian Thomas, they can go right up the middle, get 10, 15 yards a pop. And you talk about Terrebonne's explosive offense. And so far this district season, that offense has kind of been grounded, and for them to get back to where they were at last season, and even in the pre-district schedule this season, they're gonna have to get that offense working against a tough Central Lafourche defense that really hasn't given up a lot of points this season.
In 8-5-8 this week, we got the district leader, South Lafourche, coming to Houma to play a dangerous HL Bourgeois team at Tom B. Smith. And then you got Thibodeau still trying to regain their focus and regain their identity without Trevon Reed, going to Napoleonville and playing Assumption, a dangerous team, an Assumption team that you can't sleep on. And then out of district, we got South Terrebonne going all the way towards the Baton Rouge area to play a Bruley team that is 1-1 right now in this area. They beat Edie White earlier, and then they lost to St. James last week. So they kind of know the area teams. They know what they expect. Should be an interesting game. And on the other small schools, got some interesting contests.
Right. You talked about Bruley, and that's the team that St. James beat last week. This week, St. James gone into their second District 8-3A game. They'll be playing against Livonia, and St. James opened up the season. They played a lot of games on the road against some of the state's best competition, and they lost those 5 games on the road to start the season. But this week they'll be looking to build a 2-game winning streak in district play. Another big game, District 8-4A here in Houma, Vanderbilt Catholic and Ellender. Last week Vanderbilt beat defending state champion Belle Chase, and if they can win this game this week against Ellender, that gives them momentum going down the stretch, and they're a team to look at as a potential playoff team there in Class 4A. As far as Ellender, they're just trying to get their first win. They lost a heartbreaker last week to Morgan City in the final minute of the game. So they're playing a rival against Vanderbilt. I'm sure they'll be up, ready to play this game and get a win under their belt this season.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, it comes down, like you said, what we mentioned earlier, it's the push. It's the push for district title crowns. It's the push for the playoffs. You know, come October, the games, the intensity picks up. The games are better. And you want to make, going into November, you want to have your team playing in its peak because that's the last week of the season. And hopefully you extend your season. And that's what everybody's trying to look for. So if you got the ability this Friday night, get out and go to a local football stadium and check out some good high school football.
Right. There's not a lot of games left on the schedule to check out. So get out there. Thank y'all for checking out another edition of Preps Preview.